The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has just announced its 2026 induction class, but don't expect a big group hug on stage. While Joy Division and New Order are set to be honored, Peter Hook is shutting down any talk of a reunion with his former bandmates Gillian Gilbert, Stephen Morris, and Bernard Sumner. Hook is making it crystal clear that despite his respect for the honor, the long-standing legal battle and personal rift mean he definitely will not be standing with them.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Next, we are shifting gears to the water as the organizers of the Rock The River Cincinnati Fun Run gear up for their 7th year. Pat Feldhaus, Matt Feldhaus, and Michael Caligari are determined to keep their event fresh and exciting for every attendee. They are currently working hard to refine the logistics, including new catering options, to ensure this year's run is their best one yet. We are taking a trip back to 1977 to revisit the legendary rock ballads that had everyone swaying. From Rod Stewart and his massive hit Tonight is the Night to the intricate string arrangements crafted by Jeff Lynne for ELO. These tracks define the era. We are also diving into the chart-topping harmonies of the Eagles with New Kid in Town, and the raw, piercing lyrics from Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac on Dreams. Finally, we reveal the surprising origin story behind one of the greatest rock songs in history. While Elvis Presley turned Suspicious Minds into a global #1 smash, the song was actually written and originally performed by Mark James back in 1968. We are breaking down how James crafted the perfect track for the King and why he felt honored by the legendary performance. If you want to keep up with all the latest music and event news, smash that like button and subscribe with the bell turned on for more. Imagine the absolute pinnacle of musical achievement, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame calling your name. It should be a moment for vintage champagne and misty-eyed reunions, right? Well, for Peter Hook, the legendary bassist of Joy Division and New Order, it is actually a hard pass. Despite being inducted into the 2026 class, Hook has made it crystal clear. He will not stand on that stage with his former bandmates, and when he says no, he means it. It is rare to see an artist so openly prioritize his personal code of ethics over the prestige of a Hall of Fame induction, but Hook is not pulling any punches. In a candid conversation with Rolling Stone, he dropped the hammer, stating, "No, not after what they did to me and my family." This is not just a typical creative differences breakup. This is deep-seated, long-term friction. Hook is talking about morals here, and clearly, he believes his former bandmates, Bernard Sumner and Gillian Gilbert, crossed a line that 7 years of time hasn't been able to erase. To understand the bitterness, you have to look back to 2007, when Hook left New Order believing the group had run its course. When they eventually reformed without him in 2011, it triggered a grueling, multi-year legal battle over royalties that only reached a settlement in 2017. Imagine working for years, only to spend that time fighting for what you are owed. It leaves a mark. Hook hasn't spoken to Sumner or Gilbert in 15 years, and even his last contact with drummer Stephen Morris was years ago. The bridge is not just burned, it is practically pulverized. Yet, even in the middle of this Cold War, there's a glimmer of humanity. Hook isn't closed off to a reconciliation, but he is demanding a baseline of respect. He says if Sumner walked up and offered a genuine apology for the lost wages and the lost years, well, life is full of surprises. It is a fascinating, human moment, the vulnerability of wanting an apology hidden behind the ironclad exterior of a rock icon. Ultimately, Hook is genuinely honored by the induction itself. He is a fan of the legacy he helped build, even if he cannot stand the people he built it with. He is proud of the music, just not the company. So, where do you stand on this? Should legends bury the hatchet for the sake of the fans, or is sticking to your personal principles more important than a legacy performance? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more rock history updates. After all, in the world of rock and roll, sometimes the silence is just as loud as the music. Ever wondered what it takes to turn a local hobby into a national powerhouse? This August, the Ohio River is set to rumble once again for the 7th annual Rock the River Cincinnati Fun Run. And let me tell you, this isn't your average weekend cruise. What started as a labor of love for Pat Feldhouse, his brother Matt, and their friend Michael Caligari has exploded into a bona fide phenomenon. We are talking about 140 boats and over 600 participants last year, a massive turnout that proves when you build something with passion, people will show up in droves. But here is the kicker. With 33 sponsors signed on, actually hitting their limit so fast they had to close registration. The pressure is officially on. You might think these guys would just sit back, cruise on autopilot, and stick to the same old script, but that is the fastest way to kill an event's momentum. Pat Feldhouse gets it. He knows that stagnation is the enemy of excitement. He's actively obsessed with the details, like cutting down wait times at the Lighthouse Point Yacht Club by potentially swapping standard catering for a high-energy taco truck or a classic pig roast. It sounds like a small detail, but in the world of event planning, these are the pivots that keep a loyal community coming back for more. Managing 600 hungry boaters isn't exactly a walk in the park, and with registration opening May 1st for the August 21st event, the team is walking a tightrope between growth and quality. They are aiming for 120 boats this year, not because they want to shrink, but because they refuse to compromise the inclusive, welcoming vibe that made them famous in the first place. It is a masterclass in right-sizing, a passion project, without losing the soul of the party. If you are into high-performance marine action and want to witness a masterclass in community building, mark your calendars and keep a close eye on their registration page. After all, greatness isn't about how big you get, but how well you treat the people who helped you get there. So, what do you think? Is bigger always better, or is this focus on quality exactly why this event remains the king of the river? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of powerboating. Think the power ballad was strictly an 80s invention? Think again. While we love our neon-soaked synthesizers, the real emotional heavy lifting was already happening in 1977, when rock legends were busy perfecting the art of the slow song. Let's dial it back to a time before smartphones and streaming, and look at 4 tracks that define the year. First up, nobody did sultry quite like Rod Stewart. With Tonight's the Night Gonna Be Alright, Stewart proved that a rock star could absolutely conquer the boudoir ballad scene. It was a massive, chart-topping risk that paid off. Fun fact, that whispery voice in the background, that's none other than model Britt Ekland, who was dating Rod at the time. The lyrics were a bit risque for the radio, but that just made the melody even more infectious. Then we have ELO's Telephone Line. If you've never experienced the absolute agony of waiting by a landline for a crush to call, you've missed a specific type of 70s torture. Jeff Lynne turned that anxiety into a beautiful, string-drenched masterpiece. It's a lesson in musical arrangement, how to layer complex countermelodies without losing the raw, desperate heart of the song. We can't talk about 1977 without mentioning the Eagles. When they dropped New Kid in Town, they leaned into that signature, bittersweet harmony style that fans adored. It's fascinating how they paired such polished, soothing vocals with lyrics that were actually quite sour and cynical. It climbed straight to number 1, proving that audiences were hungry for that specific kind of melancholy. Finally, we have to talk about Fleetwood Mac. While disco was fighting for dominance, Stevie Nicks and company were busy releasing Dreams. Strip it down, and it's a simple track, but that's exactly why it works. It allows Nicks' lyrics to hit with surgical precision. It's proof that in the right hands, simplicity is far more powerful than production polish. Which of these 77 classics still hits the hardest for you? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into music history. After all, great songs don't just capture a moment in time, they make time stand still. We all know Elvis Presley as the undisputed king of rock and roll, but what if I told you that one of his greatest career-defining moments actually came from someone else? When you hear that iconic opening of Suspicious Minds, you probably think of the king immediately. But the truth is, this massive 1969 chart topper was a cover. It is a classic tale of songwriting genius meeting legendary charisma. The song was actually written by Mark James, who released his own version just a year prior. Now, think about the pressure of handing your baby to Elvis. James was smart enough to keep the same arrangement, hoping the king would take that spark and turn it into a wildfire. And he absolutely did. James famously noted that he knew the song was perfect for Elvis, and looking back, the stats speak for themselves. The track hit #1 in 27 countries, effectively launching Elvis back to the top of the world. It is a humbling reminder that even the biggest stars rely on brilliant songwriters to craft those timeless hits. Mark James passed away in 2024, but his legacy is cemented in the DNA of rock history. It just goes to show that music is a collaborative magic trick, where the right voice can turn a great song into an immortal one. If you love deep dives into the hidden history of your favorite tracks, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. What is the most surprising cover song you have ever heard? Because in the end, it is not just about who sings the song, but how they make it feel like it belonged to them all along.